Welcome back to Chasing Chips. It's a glorious day. It's a glorious day. I feel I don't know what to say. I just feel honored to be here and finally to be just in great company. I think I'm very much enjoying being public enemy number one um, right now in the NBA. I just so many people are just showing their true colors about if you watch the game, period, if you watch the Clippers, and if you know basketball. Because right now it's hilarious hearing people, and you hate this, people that are on TV don't know what they talking about. You can tell they ain't watched the Clippers play for the longest. Out here saying the Clippers lost their depth. Marcus Morris's defense. What Clippers
Yeah,
games have you been watching?
that's much. That's much.
Rocco's defense. Rocco's good on defense, but he didn't play. Those two people I knew were gonna get traded. I'm hurt about Nicholas Batum. I'm hurt. I didn't want him to get traded. Here's his final season. He said he wanted to retire Clippers, so I really wanted him to stay. And I'm hurt about KJ Martin, man. Like, hey, I feel like he was starting to be blossoming here and to be back at home, and it was just gonna be a place close to his family. It sucks that he had to go to Philly, but it's the business. He's young. He's gonna bounce back. He's got a long career ahead of him. But look at it, we got him. We didn't have to give up Terrence Mann or Norman Powell. Like I said, we can give up all the picks we want because we don't care about picks. We about to move into a brand new stadium. We don't care about picks. We need to win a chip. We need a chip. We don't need picks. So it's just hilarious to see all that happening right now. So I got. What was your reaction? I mean, I know you woke up to the news. I got the news because I'm in LA and I was up and I saw it and I just started laughing like, "Yep, we did it. We got him."
Yeah, I think it's good. I think there's a lot of questions that I'm concerned about, and I'll tell you why. One being, I do know. I mean, like, so what's the contract situation as far as like next year goes? I mean, to my understanding, like everyone's contract is essentially up, right, on all your guys.
Yeah, pretty much. I
Okay,
mean,
so this is pretty much like a finals or bust situation. Yeah, like you're not bringing back all the stars. Is that what you feel?
Yeah, James is up, Russ is up, but PG and Kawhi have player options. So, but they don't want to play on their player options next year. They want to sign an extension by the year's end. So
Right.
so they
So
can
this is
compete
like
for
this is a championship or bust kind of
yeah,
situation.
pretty much. Yeah. It's
Okay,
always
gotcha.
been
All right. So as long as we made that clear. Secondly, I think from a talent perspective, it's a great move. Because as you mentioned, a lot of those players weren't even being utilized. I think losing KJ Martin and Batum and Rocco is, it does lose. You do lose some depth, but you're very top heavy now. And my only thing is like, how will this work out with how the players mesh? Because you're saying from a Suns perspective, guy, like a Suns fan perspective, what I like about our top three guys is that they're all unselfish and
right.
they all, they love ball. You could say that their games are similar, but they are playmakers. I would argue that Bradley Beal is an underrated playmaker. I think Devin Booker is a good playmaker, and I think Kevin Durant is a good playmaker. James Harden, I think he has been notorious for playing iso ball. And I don't think Kawhi is going to gel with that sort of style of play. I think Kawhi is going to get frustrated when James Harden runs down the whole clock when he does his dribbling at the top of the three, and it's going to piss him off. I think Paul George will make anything work. I think Paul George is pretty malleable.
Yeah.
Russ, on the other hand, I think Russ is going to want the ball. Like, for him to have value, to add value on the offensive side, he has to touch the ball. He can't just go sit in the corner and he's not a corner three shooter. He can't just hide. You can't hide Russ because it's going to be like a Kogi out there, Like you can't. It's people are going to shed off Russ, and it's going to create a 5-on-4 dynamic. So I think that's my main concerns is how does James Harden fit within this team? Because you already have a primary ball handler in Russ, and I know James Harden is gonna this style of play is always like it's ISO ball. So
Yeah,
it's just like you're gonna have you're gonna have James Harden taking a lot of the offensive flow.
and let me shed light on that. And you're not. It's you and many people are talking about that and how they're gonna move the ball, how they're gonna work the ball. Now, at the end of the day, everybody's back in their rightful positions. I think it's one of those things where for many seasons we've always talked about how the NBA is positionless, but the Clippers is not. Everybody's playing their position they were drafted into the league for. Russ is gonna play point. He's gonna run the ball. James Harden's gonna be back in the Houston era, and he's not gonna be ball heavy. He's gonna play shooting guard. Remember, James Harden is one of the best shooters in the league. Like that's something people have tended because he's been a ball handler on the teams he's been on because he had to, because he is a better passer than most of the guys they're playing with.
But even when he was playing in Houston, he was not like I know his position was shooting guard, but Pat Bev wasn't bringing the ball up really. It was him bringing the ball up.
When he been from Houston to OKC to Philly, James Harden has been the best passer on those teams. So
it's because he's touching the ball.
But on this team, Russ is still a top passer. Russ will run point. Russ is not looking to score the rock. You know what I'm saying? So Russ playing point, he can dish to James for the shot. The only person that's going to get double teamed on a consistent basis is Kawhi. So you have to pick your poison. You're going to leave your PG. The person guarding PG is not going to leave. The person guarding Russ is going to leave. So if Kawhi passes out the double team to Russ and the person guarding James is going to help on the drive, James is open for a shot. Or Russ is going to get a layup. It's one of those things. It's just ball movement. And James Harden playing off the ball in this offense. This offense can thrive with him. He's not going to be the primary ball handler. I feel like it's going to be a switch off. Whoever gets the rebound, if Russ gets the rebound, he's running point. If James gets the rebound, he's running point. But I think Kawhi and PG's game does not change. They are number 1 and number 2. And it depends how the day is going. Right now, PG is the number 1. He's averaging 30 points a game. He's number 1 right now. And then it's Kawhi. And then it's James. And then Russ can pick and choose what games he goes off on. You know what I'm saying? It's all about the game. You know what I'm saying? And I think people are overlooking that these are NBA players that have played with each other multiple years, Russ and James. So they know how to work with each other. They played on 2 different teams with each other. I feel like they can figure it out. And Kawhi and PG obviously had to be good and happy about this trade because they welcomed it. And you know they had to. The Clippers not going to bring James if the 2 biggest stars on the team don't say, we're cool, we're going to make it work. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think it's going to be a problem. I think the ball's going to move. I think we're going to make a lot of shots. The one thing that's always been my thing is that I hope our defense doesn't suffer. And that's the biggest thing for me because I'm not going to go out and say it's scary hours.
Yeah, he's definitely going to suffer.
I'm not going to go out and say it's scary hours. It's not. I really, you and me just talked. The Nuggets, by far, head and shoulders, is the best team in the league right now. Off of just eye test. The games I've seen, they just look really good. I don't know what the Suns look like.
That's true.
No one knows yet. We preseason they look good, but what happened? Beal has been out. So that's my question to you. What is going on with that boy? Like, did you see the video of him shooting jumpers?
Yeah, that's just how he shoots. I don't think that's a problem.
Oh,
he shoots different in the first place. That's just how he shoots. Like they did a side-by-side of him shooting like last year or something like that, and it was like literally the exact same shot. So I'm not worried about that at all. He just always shoots kind of like with a step back. But yeah, I mean, like it's obviously not good that he's been out for this long. And my whole problem is that like just let us know he's gonna be out for like a couple weeks. Like don't like lead us up to the game and be like, oh, trying to like see if he's gonna be playing, and then ends up he's out, every time. So just like if it's a week, let us know it's a week. That's fine. Not worried though. I'd say it does seem like it's an issue. He is injured, but it's not something that is going to hold him out for a ton of time. If they are going to get injured, rather have them get injured in the beginning of the season than near the middle of the end.
Mm-hmm.
It is what it is. Like, I think we're shortening up the window of time. Like, I'd rather them play 60 to 50, 60 games and be over conservative about injuries. Like, I'm not worried about that. Like you don't have to play. If you play 82 games and you don't win, doesn't matter. No one's gonna talk about it. So people can sit here and say load management all they want, even though they don't know shit about the injury, and they could also sit here and say point figures about how Bradley Beal is injury prone and stuff like that. Whatever. Like, let this shit play out. I knew that they weren't going to play 82 games. No one on our team, I feel like, is going to play 82 games. And
No.
the league already has way too many games, and there's like double headers, and it's just like, not double headers, but like back to backs. I already feel like the schedule is too dense. I already feel like there's too many games in the first place. So it seems we're trying to be strategic here, and we're giving a big middle finger to the league, saying like, you're not going to tell us like when we can rest our players, kind of thing. Like, these are legitimate injuries. I did see Book's injury happen against the Warriors when he fell on his ankle or whatever. So he looked fine. They both look fine in practice. It is what it is, and we're winning games. That's what's beautiful too. Is that'd be one thing if we're losing, but our bench is deep, dude. We got a deep team. So if this gives more minutes and more run for the players off the bench, I'm all for that. Like, give them some confidence. And next thing you know, Bradley Beal's in the lineup, and we're just ripping through people. So
and the bring on the talk about your bench is really good, and I think your bench is getting that time to actually get some gameplay right now, to figure out their spots, figure out where exactly they fit in this offense, because they know what's going to happen when Devin comes back. You know what Beal comes back, what they got to do. So for the guys that are on the bench to catch a rhythm without them there, they know that, all right, I'm not going to be able to shoot these many shots when they come back, but now I know where I need to be, where I want to be, what shots I want to make, because when they come back, it's going to be even better for y'all. And I think that's one of the things that people overlook when guys are hurt, is how they play when the guys are hurt. And you guys are playing very well. So it's not like all hell broke loose. That's because y'all made a very good – your Suns did a really good job of making sure they had depth. And that's really good. And
yeah, so it's just like, and plus we're playing against teams that aren't that good. So like, maybe one thing if we have the Nuggets scheduled, today, we're playing the Spurs, today, and then I think Thursday, and then like these are teams like we almost beat the Lakers without Bradley Beal and Booker.
In LA too.
In LA, so I'm just like we're going through the schedule, and I think that's probably a part of why they're being more conservative as well, is that the competition that we have on our schedule upcoming is, not the best. So, we do play the Sixers next Saturday, this Saturday. So I would like to see them back by the Sixers game. That would be ideal.
That's the ideal, and that's probably what they want, and that's and I just want to talk about the depth with your depth and Clippers depth. People just, for me, it's just tripping me out. Like, go look at our roster before you be like, oh, the Clippers lost. We got Bones Howland as the backup point guard. I know some people are like, oh, they don't like it. He averaging 15 points a game right now. That's cool with me. Norman Powell was a finalist in 6-man. Terrence Mann, we didn't want to trade him for a good reason. He's really good on defense. PJ Tucker, we can have that conversation. People think he's trash.
He's trash nowadays. He's like 40 years old.
Yeah, I don't really care about his offense. If
I think the hole in your guys' lineup, I think, is in power forward. I think you guys are small now.
Small how?
What do you mean? Like at the 4, and small.
Why 6'8"? What are you talking about?
Is that where he's playing? He's playing at the 4.
Yeah, he's a power.
So who's playing backup 4 then? PJ?
PJ, yeah, we don't have a backup 4. That is the one thing. We have a backup 4, but we don't have
like a chicken right there.
A big backup 4, like which is a tough thing. But I don't think there's a difference. The other backup 4 was Nick Batum, which is he's tall, he can block shots. That's probably the one thing that we
wingspan.
wingspan, and he's really good at defense. But PJ
And
is good on
Rocco.
defense too. So, but
And
Rocco,
Rocco.
I know people keep on saying Rocco. He didn't play last year. He barely played, and all summer, Lou was like, "We're going to get him playing time," and he started the first game of the season because Terrence Mann got hurt. It wasn't because he was playing better or he was going to get the start anyway. No, like I understand that. I appreciate everything Rocco's brought to the team, but like let's not blow up and act like these guys that we gave away were like the greatest. We hung our defense, our second team hung on any of these guys because they didn't. But Nick Batum brought a different type of feel. The vibes are different. He was a clutch shooter at the end of the games, and that's probably one of the things.
I just feel like Kawhi is going to get frustrated with James Harden.
I
I
don't
don't think they're going to gel well. That's just my opinion. You quote me on that. I just don't think that I don't think that Kawhi's going to like James Harden.
Yeah, and I'm gonna disagree with you on that. Kawhi don't really need that many. He gets the ball. You when you watch the games, and I watch every couple of games. You know when Kawhi is going to shoot the ball. I know when he's shooting. I know when he's going. He sees nobody else on the floor. He's gonna do his patented 2 or 3 dribbles, pull up, or go to the rack and get hit or make a nice little pull up. He's not worried about it. He's gonna get his 20 something. Kawhi, one of them people, and I used to tell my high school players, hey, if you just score 5 points a quarter, you'll have 20 points. I honestly believe that's what Kawhi thinks. I'm going to get 6 points this quarter. If I don't get 6 points the next quarter, I'm going to get 10 next quarter. All right, now it's my time to go crazy. And the Clippers are really good at being like, oh my God, Kawhi's going nuts. Let's just give him the ball. Let's just give, because Russ does that, PG does that.
I think one thing that we can agree on, though, out of this trade is that the Sixers did not get better. And everyone's claiming that the Sixers got better. I don't see it.
I don't see it either. I don't get it.
How did the Sixers get better? Like they got KJ Martin and Rocco.
Yeah.
What's the like? Everyone's really thinking that Tyrese Maxey is gonna like be an all-star this year, and I'm not saying he's not good, but I'm just saying that like what? Okay, so is Tobias Harris gonna step up? Like who's stepping up to score?
That's for me. That's what I'm talking about. Like I agree. I think Tyrese Maxey is doing great. I think he's definitely getting better every single season. But still, it's just 2 guys.
Yeah, and that's your top 2. If you're the Sixers, your top 2 is Tyrese Maxey and Joel Embiid. Just saying that's not like I'm not saying that it's not a good duo. I'm just saying that it's like you're not a championship contender if those are your top 2. And we're bringing in top 3 in here. Tobias Harris being the third option. Like you're gonna need more offense than that. I'm sorry.
I think they're gonna make one more move. I think they're not done. All the picks we just gave them, there's no way they're done.
Those picks aren't worth shit.
They worth when they got trade somebody. They got trade for the third guy.
Who's gonna take Rocco and KJ Martin in a pick to deal out their star? Like what stars out there that they would want?
I think just there's got to be a star that's just like James Harden, sitting at home, not happy with what they're doing, and it's gonna want to ask for a trade or want to move later in the season if the team doesn't.
It's got to be the Bulls. It's got to be the Bulls, right?
It's got to be the Bulls. Even though they look good that last
game. But like I don't even know if those contracts work and like
exactly the one that gets traded. I don't think they're gonna give up DeRozan. I think it'd be dumb to give up DeRozan. It'd be exactly.
Yeah, I mean if this turns out to them getting like Zach LaVine or DeMar DeRozan, then it works out. But I just don't see it. Like they're gonna have to give up Tobias, which do the Bulls want Tobias Harris? Like
I don't think they. Yeah, no, but I don't know what they have to give up. We ain't gonna do that trade machine today. But we're both on the same point. Like the Sixers need to do at least one more trade to think they're actually in title contention, especially getting out the East. I think I heard somebody say they're the 3rd best team in the East now because of this trade. Like what?
Their best team? I would put them under the Cavs at this point. I put the Bucks over them.
Yeah,
I'd put
Celtics.
The Heat over them. I'd definitely put the Celtics over them.
Definitely.
I'd put the Cavs over them. Who else?
I think that's it, man. I don't really. Yeah, I don't think anybody else in the East
No.
at those things. But back to another guy that I think is scary hours for just this player. If you're playing this, is the Warriors. Steph Curry is in playoff form. And I know you don't care. You hate the Warriors. And it's just fun to watch, man. And I was telling you the other day. Like Steph Curry, when you bet against him, he might be an MVP this season. He continually playing like he playing. If the Warriors in the top 4 and they're like 3 or 4 or like 4 games back from first place or 5 games back, if I had a vote, I would vote Steph Curry for MVP because I don't see the Warriors being top 4. But if he's playing this way all season long, bro, how you not gonna give it to him? I mean,
Yeah. I mean, we'll see.
So
I don't know. I'm not really concerned about I think right now, if the Mavs continue to win, I think Luka's got this. Like, because that team is dog shit.
that is true.
At least the Warriors have some star power.
Yeah,
The Mavs have no star power.
Okay, got Kyrie. Yeah. Honestly, he's been quiet. I guess Luka's been doing so well. I want to see what I don't even know what Kyrie's been doing. I don't know what he.
I just don't see this continuing though. I mean, they've played some pretty trash teams up to this point. Like everyone's being like, "Oh, the Mavs, like they look so strong right now," but you know what? They played the Spurs, they played the Nets, and they played the Grizzlies. Like, let's chill. Like
Kyrie was out against the Grizzlies, but
yeah, the Grizzlies are going to be terrible this year.
Yeah,
Grizzlies might not make the playoffs.
Yeah, and missing Ja, they 0-3. They can't salvage. They're not going to be able to be there. And I think it's just. Yeah, they're just gonna have a year. They're just not gonna be there. You just got to chalk this year up, Memphis. Sorry, just chalk it up. You're not.
Yeah, I think the two like there's a few teams I think are going to take a big hit this year, and it's going to be the Lakers and the Grizzlies on the West.
So are you saying right now, October 31st, happy Halloween, everybody, that the Lakers are a playing team?
Yes, Lakers are as currently constructed. The Lakers are a playing team, as currently constructed.
You don't think they get it together?
I think Rob Pelinka. I'll tip my hat to Rob Pelinka. I think he might pull something out of his hat come trade deadline. But yeah, I think they're not a good team. Like in my personal opinion, if they have to rely on LeBron James, 50-year-old man, to play 38 minutes a game, then that's a recipe for disaster. I think AD is shown and proven to be inconsistent and unreliable, and I think their other role players aren't stepping up. It's no offense to LeBron, but it is the LeBron James effect. For some reason, role players when they join a team on LeBron's team, they take a decline. Like everyone's probably expecting Gabe Vincent and people like Jackson Hayes and Cam Reddish to really make these huge leaps now that they're on the Lakers with LeBron James. But I actually think it's going to be the opposite. I think they're going to take a huge hit like a lot of players in the past have done before. So I don't think it's going to work out.
Yeah, I'm not going to call it on them. I think it's taking them time to mesh. And I don't think they're a playing team. I think they're going to make the playoffs. Do I see the Lakers as like a top 5? Maybe 5 if they can get it together.
I put the Pelicans. I put a lot of teams over them. I put the Nuggets over them, the Warriors over them, the Thunder over them, the Pelicans over them, the Kings over them, maybe the Timberwolves over them.
You're just not going to say
that's
Clippers?
6 teams.
You're just not going to say the Clippers? It's just.
Oh, yeah, 17. Clippers, my bad.
So that's the thing. I wouldn't put the Timberwolves and the Pelicans above the Lakers. I think AD is doing very well right now. I think
healthy?
17, 30, 26. I think AD's playing very well. He hasn't been inconsistent except that one game he just didn't score in the second half. It's the role players, and I agree with you. They got to figure out their identity. They have to figure out what exactly am I going to do each game to help LeBron and AD. And when those guys figure that out, they can. And Laker fans, y'all need to calm down. Y'all out here making Gabe Vincent the scapegoat of the season already. Y'all are a few games in. You know what I'm saying? Calm down. They gotta get it together. And because I'm never gonna bet against LeBron. So I'm like, all right, bro, you're gonna get your team together, or you're gonna hit Rob up and be like, hey man, these guys need to go because they're not ready to play and they haven't figured it out yet. And we 40 games into the season. So I think the Lakers are a top 5 West team. They just haven't figured it out yet. They've played very close games against the Nuggets and the King, or not the Nuggets, the Kings, who you put ahead of them. And I just believe that they can do it. They can be a top 5 team. Am I going to say Western Conference Finals? Do they lose in the first round? Maybe, because, AD could be inconsistent. But I'm not going to say that go crazy like you, but like, oh, they're a playing team. Nah.
I mean, it's just like math. It's just basic math. Like, it's not saying. I'll take it back. I'm not saying that the Lakers are bad. I'm just saying that there's too many teams that are better than them, and that's why I think they're a playing team. I think there are too many teams that are clearly just better than them, and are deeper, are better, like are gelling better, like have better top stars in them. Not throwing shade to LeBron, not trying to throw shade to AD, but the other teams are just better. I mean, I listed them out. Like, do you not agree?
I don't. I just told you I agree. I don't think the Timberwolves and Pelicans are better than the Lakers. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, but even excluding the Timberwolves and the Pelicans, I would argue I'd accept your argument for the Timberwolves, but the Pelicans healthy are pretty good. They're solid. But would you say that the Nuggets are better?
Yeah, I said
the Warriors are better.
No,
Clippers,
I wouldn't say the Warriors are better. I wouldn't say the Warriors.
You wouldn't say the Warriors are better than the Lakers?
I wouldn't. No, Warriors, the healthy? Same team with Chris Paul,
with Draymond, healthy.
I think that's what I'm saying. If it's Warriors against the Lakers in a series, I'm still gonna pick I'll pick the Lakers to win the series.
Nope, wrong.
I just think
it is what it is.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Warriors is 6 for me. I think there are 6, but that's what I said. If Curry's playing like this, then and then they're in top 4. That's crazy.
Suns, Clippers.
I don't think OKC is top 5. You do. That's what we discussed that earlier in the season.
I'm high on OKC for sure.
You're high on OKC. You think OKC is top 5, and I don't. I'm sorry. No, they're not. They're not that ready yet. They gonna make the playoffs. Why? They're not gonna be in the play-in. They're gonna make the playoffs.
They got their ass kicked by the Nuggets. Is that why?
No, yeah, but a lot of people are gonna get their ass kicked by the Nuggets. They're too young.
Exactly. That's my point.
I think they're gonna string off a lot of losing streaks.
SGA had a fluke game. How much did SGA have that game? He had 7 points. How many times is SGA gonna have 7 points in a game?
It's not gonna happen that much. But yeah. I don't. We all love SGA. That's great, but I don't trust the other guys to be supporting cast to be there every single game. I just not enough for them to be a top 5 team.
They just have a pretty solid top 5. I think their problem is their depth. I think. They have Jalen Williams, Dort, Chet Holmgren, then Shea and Josh Giddey. I mean, that's solid. That's a solid starting 5.
That's a solid 6 or 7 seed. That's what that is. That is. They not better. That 5 is not better than the Kings. That 5 is not better than the Pelicans. That 5 is not better than the Lakers, Clippers, Suns, Nuggets, and I just named 7 teams. 6 teams right there. Like I said, the OKC Thunder will make the playoffs. They won't be in the play-in. They'll make the playoffs. Like, I think they're a top 7 team. But that's it.
What's the play-in? Is it 8 and 9?
Yes.
Or is it 8, 9, 10? Or 7, 8, 9, 10?
Is it 7, 8, 9, 10?
It's 7, 8, 9, 10.
Okay. Well, if they technically they're a playing team. Technically.
Do you think the Mavericks are better than the Lakers?
Absolutely not. What in the world? Hell no. Hell no. Oh,
you
man.
The Magic? No?
Bro, if Luka gets them into the top 6, he's winning MVP. I got you on that. Yes, for sure.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The Mavs are kind of garbage on paper, so I think that's what I'm saying. Like, I think it's Luka's MVP to lose, basically. If they somehow squeak in the top 5 or 6 of the standings, I think Luka's going to win MVP.
Yeah, because he has to be top 6 and he has to average almost like close to a triple-double. You know what I'm saying? Because Russ got MVP with a triple-double, and his team was the 8th seed that year.
Right.
Something like that. So, he's got to get top 6 to be like, all right, it's his. You know what I mean? But if he's like 9th or in the play-in, but like 9th place, he's not going to get it. I'm sorry. It's just, there's no way. Now, that'll be an all-time low if they're voting for somebody MVP and they don't even make the playoffs. They barely make the play-in. Like that's
team success is a factor.
That's demon time on all the riders and everybody. If you're y'all were giving him MVP at the beginning of the season, no matter what he did, no matter what his team did. Most valuable player to help his team be better than what they are is what I think the MVP is. You know what I'm saying? If it's anything other than that, I think it makes no sense. But man, we can't wait to see what happens going forward. Other than that, man, it's always been great talking to you. It's always been great for having y'all tune in. Thank you for listening to Chasing Chips. You know what I'm saying? Go Clippers. You can say go Suns, I guess.
Yeah, Suns looking good. Clippers are looking good. That's all that matters.
Yeah, that matters. So, hey, man, we're going to keep chasing chips because if you ain't chasing chips, then what are you playing for? So, other than that, thank y'all for listening. Thank y'all for watching. Peace.
Later.